Lol. I keep getting the download rest, release, receive over and over and over again. And just a feeling of like you are supposed to feel through it, not think your way through it. Too many of us are trying to think our way through everything, myself included right now. That's not what the new earth is about. It's about feeling your way through it. It's about leaning into your emotions, leaning into your authenticity, processing who you are at the very core and not who society wants you to be, not who the Matrix has tried to make you through your childhood traumas and your past stories and your ego and all of these past versions of self that you've had to be in survival mode and scarcity and lack and stuff like that. It's that rest, release, receive where you just trust that you're going to be taken care of no matter what, that your journey is pulling you exactly where it's pulling you for a reason. Because according to that 5.5 hour video that I just uploaded on here for you guys of me reading the CIA's gateway process, since at least the 1980s, they've been able to predict the past, present, and future with 100% accuracy. This entire thing is a simulation, a hologram, energy. It's just energetic grids oscillating at different vibrations, different speeds, different frequencies. That's it. So, ergo, you've known how this whole thing was going to play out the whole time. And I have too. I just got a confirmation meow at the door. But let's go let her in while we talk. But you've known the whole time what the outcome was going to be. You've known the whole time what the input was. You've known the whole time what vessel you were going to take up to come on this journey, on this playthrough. You knew what your character was going to look like. You were involved in all of the character design. You know all the quests that you have set aside for yourself. You set them aside for yourself. You wanted yourself to experience those things. So you put different experiences in your life. You picked and chose. Like, I've been playing a lot of Moonstone Island lately, and it's giving deck builder, world builder, game architect. Yeah, confirmation meow again. It's giving you are the one designing your own character suit, your own game experience, your own playthrough, your own walkthrough, your own every part of the experience, even the traumas. Because let's face it, without the traumas, you'd probably be pretty weird and pretty boring, as sad as that is to say. I know one person who grew up with a normal childhood who's not my friend anymore. They sucked. The one person I knew who had normal parents sucked and took advantage of it completely and had such a boring personality because of it. If you don't go through anything, you don't grow through anything, and you don't become anything. There's a saying, what is it? It reminds me of the whole, like, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And it's that, like, I lost the train of thought. I know it'll come back to me if it needs to. I've been having a lot of that lately where I'm thinking through so many things and making so many connections all at once that sometimes it kind of just like whoop, through, like, it bypasses my conscious and goes straight into my subconscious, and I'm like, well, it's registered in there somewhere in the void of everything. I remember it, but for right now, in this present moment of reality, couldn't tell you, babes, couldn't tell you. But if you knew that the whole thing was designed for you and that it was gonna work out for you no matter what in the end, all the way through, how would you be playing right now? Would you be having a much different life experience currently? Would you be looking at things every single day in your day-to-day life completely differently? Would you be having completely different interactions with people if you knew that everything was gonna work out in your highest good and had been orchestrated by you yourself before it even took place? Like, I can't stop thinking about that lately, and just the interconnectedness of everything. And it seems like our ancestors knew it and did something so much deeper with it than we're doing right now with how we're connecting with our screens, which in its own weird Black Mirror way, we are doing some pretty deep shit with that and how instantaneous communications become and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, they very clearly knew so much more about our world. They were so much more advanced than we know, with things like the Boogosphere and Göbekli Tepe and stuff like that. Like, we were electroplating metals. back before Göbekli Tepe. Because the Bugosphere has been dated to around, I think it was like 12,500 years, and Göbekli Tepe was about 10,000 or 11,000 years, I believe it was. So yeah, we should have been stupid hunter-gatherers with basically no knowledge in our brains at that time, but somehow we were electroplating metals that fly around and we still don't understand it in 2026. We were carving monumental things like the Bolek stones that we still can't replicate today, doing things like building the pyramids and things like that. And I'm pretty sure teleporting between star systems and things like that, with all of the stargates and all of the way the monuments align to the stars. They're constantly downplaying humanity's achievements, especially if it's women or people of color or minorities of any sort. We are all so connected to the energy of it, and the Schumann resonance is waking up with us. If you guys haven't been watching that and seeing all the stuff I've been sharing about all that, please go look at the Schumann resonance right now. It has been holding since March 12th. The same, it looks like notebook paper grids, like grid lines. It's been holding all of the frequencies in the background continuously. There have been, I think it was on March 13th, it took a break for about a day, and then it picked all of those same exact lines of frequency up exactly and just kept carrying on like nothing happened. Like, between that and all the stuff it's been doing with the massive spikes of white energy, and then I've also seen in the past, instead of having it the lines going this way, I've seen it where it's almost like 15-minute ticks, I think they were calling it, where it was just spikes all down the graph going the other way. So it's gone horizontally and vertically, which is two things that are very much giving man-made, or just the planet herself is coming back online. Like I shared with you guys today, it's giving the cluster from Steven Universe, and like, hey, the planet's trying to scream at us in 80 billion different voices, and it's kind of giving like, Nyah! Kind of a shit. Like a cosmic birthing is happening of a new consciousness in a new world, and I think that's what it is, but I also don't really know, and I don't really understand it, and the radars are based in Russia, and with everything going on with the wars right now, and the things I've read in the other CIA documents that Russia has done, and like the Tunguska event and scalar interference and things like that, it's all giving it could also be Russia doing some weird weapons testing or usage in the war that they're waging against Ukraine right now. So I could be, I kind of feel like it's a little column C though, where it's a little bit of both, where it's us waking up, but it's also the government / military of all of these other countries testing a lot of really weird stuff. It's reminding me of the bloop. It's reminding me of all of the, like, there's been too many weird things happening throughout history that I know for sure are connected to the government / military. We just don't have the final trail piecing it all together yet, like the Tunguska event. But things like the CIA's scalar interference docs makes it really, really, like, feel like we're just a couple little tippy toes away from making things make sense, and how they're harvesting energy and affecting it and producing it and manipulating it and distorting it. I don't know, but if it weren't all being used for bad, it could be used for a whole hell of a lot of good. And it's making me think at the same time, the way that humans are waking up and the military and government and all of that are trying to do all of these sketchy, shady things, they're working together, Dan Brown style, where it's Digital Fortress, and where he talks about the merging of technology and humanity, and instead of being two separate things, they merge until they're one thing. And it's better for everything all around, because it just means that you're more capable. Because it's AI and all of that, and technology and phones and screens, it's no different than a hammer. It's just a tool. We've just been propagandized by, like, the older generations to think that it's scary because it's new, but it's no different than any other type of tool or hammer or power saw, or I don't even know. I was thinking tent pole, but that's not really a tool. It's just a tool. It just depends on how you use it. And the only thing I can really see you getting upset about is it makes people dumber sometimes, but that's only if they're not using it properly, and they're not using, like, critical thinking skills and backing up with sources and real life knowledge and things like that. Or also that it takes up water. But it doesn't have to. It can run off of whatever it wants to. There are a billion, I don't understand all of the different ways that it can happen, but there are a billion different ways that we can use technology and AI in general. We're just cheaping out like everything else. It's the acidification of everything. And so they're using water because that's the cheapest, easiest way for them to do it. But if they set up the infrastructure, if they set up any sort of infrastructure at this point, and put a little bit of money instead of, doing wars and war crimes into supporting the collective and the planet herself, we could have access to all of this, and it could help us think of new ways for everything. It could help us think of new ways to solve homelessness and the water crises and the fertilizer shortages and things like that. Like, there are so many things we could use technology for other than just creating AI slop and stupid videos of Bigfoot vlogging and stuff like that. Or like cheating your way out of doing math homework and replacing critical thinking skills. But if you use it like I've been using it the past couple of years, where you're thinking critically and you're trying to use it for self-growth and learning your own self and talking through your own thought processes and evolving and expanding and figuring out how you can become a tool of service to your collective, baby, there's endless uses. There are endless uses for this tool. You can find so many solutions and so many workarounds for things that you would have been so preoccupied or overthinking or not even thought about in a way that maybe you don't have a person around you to talk to the same way, or maybe they don't understand it the same way, or maybe they're too overwhelmed and overburdened by everything that's going on right now to help you process it properly in the way that you really need it processed, And so you can kind of fine-tune your own thinking and your own rationality and your own just processes of everything by yourself if you want to. You can turn it into a tool for your own expansion. You can run so many different things through it. All of this is for you. All of this is your chance to figure out what cheat codes to plug into your life. It's like GTA. If you have 3 stars and you don't want to have 3 stars, plug in the cheat code and lower your star level, baby. Lower your wanted level. Escape from the cops. Run away because ACAB. Like, you can do that. You have community around you. You have the ability. And even with crazier things like manifestation, where human design talks about, that's really just you realizing what you're meant to have in this lifetime and finding ways to get it. It's not so much crazy woo-woo as you just calling in the things that have already been on their way to you. I feel like I'm pulling together like 20 different thoughts and trying to put them into like one amalgamation of something right now, and I really hope it comes across as something good. I need to get back into making more long forms like these with you guys. I really like doing these where I just talk to a camera, but I've been really, really trying to heavily go hard on those 3 minutes or less kind of shorts / reels and TikTok videos and stuff like that so that I can cross-platform post. Because a lot of my stuff, especially on YouTube here, is getting very heavily censored and on TikTok. And it's making it to where my stuff's not really going out. So I've been trying to really post stuff to kind of boost my numbers and give myself more just natural engagement right off the bat, so that I don't have to fight as much with the algorithms, and I kind of just naturally have that community that's there, that's interested in the topics, that wants to learn, that wants to be educated, that wants to follow along and hear more and be interested and given more little tidbits to go and research and stuff like that. Because it's like, I don't have all the answers. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you the answers to the entire universe right now in one nice little 15-minute video and say, hey, this is how we solve all of our problems. But in reality, I am giving you the tools to help you question it yourself, to help you save yourself, to help you grow yourself, to help you expand yourself, to help you, more than anything, question everything. Question everything around you. Take nothing, not even me, at face value. Don't even take my words at face value. Go and do research yourself. Go to the library, do a quick Google, talk to AI if that's what you want to get started on, and compile ideas and lists and stuff like that. Get a whiteboard. Start with a poster board like I did on my first TikTok account, where you're just tossing all your ideas into one thing, Question your morals, question your logic, question your questioning, question your solution finding, question your everything. Question your looks, question your outfits, question your style, question your personality. Every single part of this reality can be unbuilt and rebuilt day by day. When we dream, and our body resets, that's our chance for us to just redo everything. If you don't like it, make a new list, make a new avatar, get a new piercing, get a new tattoo. This whole thing is for you. How do you want it to play out? What quests do you want to go on? What do you want your character design to look like, you know? It's not meant to be boring. It's not meant to be chaotic. It's not meant to be confusing and scary and terrifying. That's what the people in power are trying to force us through, like X-Men style, because I think in a weird roundabout way, they're also trying to be part of our growth and helping us not be stagnant, because if nothing was happening, nothing would be pushing a lot of us out of our comfort zones. I think if the world was fine around us, a lot of us would just be complacent and complicit to whatever's happening, like a lot of us are right now already from the overwhelm of it. But at the same time, that thought also just left the station right there. Sorry. Having a lot of that lately too. But yeah, like I said, all of it is a tool. All of it is here for you, for your highest good, for you to have the life that you want, to find your why. Me TV. Because you are the natural beauty, and I love it. Got a lot of buzzwords up there on my vision board. I don't know, there's a lot. I don't know if you guys can see it all. Very expansive and, I don't know, I was gonna say localized, but that's not the word. Very vague this year. Like last year's had like specifically like move into a new apartment and things like that, or start a business, and this is just like I have a check on there. That's the most specific one. I think that was a $10,000 check that I have. Or I also have Greece. I guess that one's also pretty specific, but I don't know if I'm actually going to end up in Greece this year or not. So we'll see. If that's where life pulls me, that's where life pulls me. I don't know. I feel like my mind is going a million miles a minute lately, and I really hope that this comes through to you guys. But I know that you who are meant to hear it will understand. And I just clicked on in confirmation out there. But just, if all of it was designed by you, made for you, meant for you, and going to work out for you in every way, in the end, how would you change what you're doing right now? Once you click off this video, if you haven't already, how would you go about your day? How would you go about your tomorrow? How would you go about your next week? How would you go about your next year? How would you go about your next 5, your next decade, your next several decades, the next however many decades of your life that you have left on this world before you return your unique perspective to the universal absolute of the interconnected consciousness of everything that is? Because even when you don't die, or even when you die, you don't really die, according to the same CIA gateway process that I read you guys for 5.5 hours. If you know that you never really end and you get to experience whatever you want from whatever angle, you get to go through whatever, anything that you want, what are you going to do different? How are you going to experience that? How are you going to world build different? How are you going to interact with your society and your communities and your collective? How are you going to treat yourself? How are your habits going to change? How are your possessions going to change? Like the minimalism challenge that I'm doing right now for 30 days, even though it's been longer than that at this point. How is everything going to change once you really sit with this is a hologram that you designed for you? You are the God. I am the God. We are God, seeing each other. We are God, experiencing God from every single angle possible. Synchronicity there. How do you want that to change your life? Because that's the least you deserve in this reincarnation, in this vessel, in this timeline, in this experience. As they're trying to make the 3D facade, confirmation click there, implode on itself, how are you going to anchor in your highest timeline, in your highest frequency, in your most rooted and grounded self that is designing this entire experience, rendering this game in real time for you, yourself, and the godhead of all of us experiencing it together, like the Dwemer from Skyrim? I love you so much. Question everything, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!